It's a fake really? Snoop Dogg, and he's short, and he be always on Hollywood Boulevard taking pictures with everybody. He moved like me. This motherfucker that studied my moves, he be out there like.
That's when you know it's not the real Snoop, is when he asks you for money, though.
Yeah, exactly. Can I have a picture with you, Snoop Dogg? Yeah, $20. Man, I like you. Man, I used to love your music. Yeah, I know, but I need to get that 20 out you, though. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your host with the most, Finding Nemo, aka Nemo Hoes, and I'd like to welcome y'all to the GGN News Network. Today on my show, I got a very, very special guest. Probably one of the greatest of all time. Well, in my mind, he's always been the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk, what's up, dog?
All right. Thanks, Snoop.
Man, how you been, man?
Very good, thanks.
So what people want to know is, how long have you been actually skating? Like, when did you start skating? Was it the 70s, the 80s, what?
I started skating about 1978 when I was 9 years old. My older brother was into it, and he was a surfer, and he gave me one of his old boards, and I just started doing it in the neighborhood. But then when I found my way to the skate park, and I saw people flying in and out of swimming pools, then I knew I wanted to do that.
So what was the first skate park that you actually seen that was like vision of today?
The first one I went to was called Oasis in San Diego, but it was mostly just empty swimming pools.
And who were some of the people that you actually looked up to before you mastered your craft?
Well, Steve Caballero was one of the first because he was pretty young and already kind of established as a sponsored amateur, and he's still skating to this day. And my hero at the time was Eddie Alguera. He was the sort of most progressive skater at a time when skating wasn't very big, but I recognized his talent and that he was doing something innovative, and I tried to copy his tricks as much as I could.
So you actually seen somebody and emulated their style, because when I think of you being the originator of so many different moves and so many different styles of skating that made skating cool. You made it official to where it crossed boundaries, like it had no color on it, it had no age on it. You could see girls skating, you could see black kids skating, you could see Latinos skating, Asian skating, because of you. Do you feel good about that? Did you try to do that, or how does that make you feel knowing that?
It's a huge honor. I mean, especially coming from you. I always tried to show people what skating was about, you know, and to represent it well. And I always wondered why, when I was growing up, it was the furthest thing from cool. And the kids weren't really doing it. Parents didn't want their kids doing it. And I always wondered why, because I felt like it's adrenaline, it's creative, you know, it's individual. And so I was always trying to promote it in that way. And I just happened to get a much bigger voice than I ever imagined.
It's a sport now.
Yep.
Is it going to go to the real Olympics?
I think it might, yeah. I think there's a good chance. I want to say by Tokyo, which is 6 years away.
Do you think you'll be a player or a coach when they go to Tokyo?
Let's see, I'll be literally over 50 years old when that happens.
So I'm just saying, you'll be the oldest player to win a gold medal, though. You know
that
what
would
I'm
be fun, though.
What event would you do? Freestyle?
Well, if they have vert, it'd be vert ramp, you know, half pipe.
And what's the highest you've ever went?
Off of vert ramp, about 15 feet.
And what is the move that you famous for, that you did first?
Well, a lot of people, they identify me with 900.
So 900 is, okay, stay with me now.
That's 360.
Uh-huh.
That's 720. And then stop, 900. There you go.
Goddamn. All in the air, Tone?
All in the air, yeah. It was the progression of spinning, you know. We had been doing 540s for quite a while, and then I did 720 in 1984, 85. And the next step would be 900, but I was always afraid to try, because that's a whole different commitment when you go 2.5, because you can't see the ramp twice.
Mm-hmm. That shit was amazing, because that shit played over and over.
I know, it was pretty crazy.
Can anybody do the 900 today other than you?
Yeah, there's a handful of guys that can do it, and there's a few guys that can do 1080s now.
What?
Because they have the bigger ramps, and so they get more airtime, and they come up and just boom, spinning.
I mean, how does that feel that when you did the 900, that shit was unheard of? Now they on 1080?
I know. I know, it's pretty crazy. But I love it because I love seeing the progression of the sport. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want it to end there. Like, I've always loved skating because it continues to evolve. There's always something new to learn. You know, you can never master it necessarily.
You made everybody feel like they could do it, and it was a sport that it was something that you could try. Because I remember when my kids, when they was young, they loved some Tony Hawk to death and had to buy all the video games, the skateboards. I'm like, man, why is y'all doing all this? Y'all gonna break y'all arm and all this crazy shit, but they loved it. I remember one time we was at a
White Chicks premiere.
And you was sitting behind me.
Yep.
And I told my kids, I said, there go Tony Hawk, y'all love Tony Hawk. They was like, man, can we take a picture with him? I said, Tone, man, my kids love you, man. Can I get a picture with you? And he looked out for me, homie. Man.
I remember that. I also saw the Up in Smoke tour.
You went to that?
Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was great. I remember when your kids saw me, this is the story I always tell. They say, have you ever met Snoop Dogg? I go, yeah. I sat behind him at a movie premiere, and he looked behind me and he goes, hey, yo, Tone, my son recognized you. I was like, awesome. That's all I needed.
It's really, really hot and sweaty. Oh, gosh. So hot over there and humid. Just makes you want to, take some clothes off.
Looking in the mirror, just telling myself to pray more. God ain't taking cash for them sins you got to pay for. Ghost head, but you don't need the Ouija to work. I blow the blunt, travel the smoke, leaving the earth. And I'm on an ill journey. You pussy, then pull your panties up. Spin a Satan face, telling Antichrist to Annie up. Serpents in my sleep, well it's fully awake. I guess the angels got my back, or it could have been fate. Cause my soul travel the earth, out into space. Think of my nigga.
You know what? I think you should go in the Hall of Fame for skating.
Oh, thank you. I'm in the Skateboarding Hall of Fame, which just started a few years ago.
So what I'm saying has already happened.
Yeah, I guess so. You sounded like it was more of a general thing, a Hall of Fame. Like I said, it's a huge honor for me. It's not about like trying to gain more fame or recognition or money. It's just more like I still get to do this for a living, and it's still my passion. Do
you think skating has an age limit?
I will tell you as soon as I hit it. Because I'm on the upper end of it for sure.
Because I get asked that a lot, being in the game for 20-some years, and does it get tiring? Is it ever it feels good. It's like yesterday to me. Do you feel like you don't ever want to stop?
Yeah, I feel like that. I mean, definitely there are things that I don't want to try, or there are things that I don't want to push anymore. I mean, I just turned 46. I'm just not as agile or that fired up to, or that prone to wanting to get hurt. Like, I didn't really care about getting hurt through my youth. It wasn't that's what I wanted, but I was happy to push through it and figure out how to get over it. And now, like, I don't want to try to break any height or spinning or distance records.
So
anymore.
In your mind, you've been there, done that, on those types of events.
On those types of events, yeah. And now I'm more trying to figure out how to get more technical with my skating, and little nuances, flip stuff, spinning stuff, and stuff that you do with your feet more than what you're just flinging your whole body.
Tell us about your new mobile video game.
We're doing a game for mobile devices called Tony Hawk Shred Session. So it's basically like you use the swipe stuff and do the tricks that way. It's something we've never done because usually we're on the console.
Do you enjoy playing the old Tony Hawk video game?
I do, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I like the control scheme.
I like it. Is it true to life? Is it for real? Because when we play like Madden, we feel like that shit is on. It's like if we in the game. Does the skating game feel like you actually own the board?
Yeah, in some ways. I mean, definitely there's a lot of combinations that are mostly impossible in real life, and some of the height and stuff like that. But that's what makes it fun, you know what I mean? A lot of people, that's their criticism, is that it's not real. You can't grind on the telephone wires. Like, yeah, but what if you could?
Exactly. It's
Wouldn't
a video
you want
game.
to?
Thank you. You ride on the wires and you drop down. Ba-da.
Yeah.
So you was a part of the first viral video on VHS tape in 87, 27 years ago, The Search for Animal Chin. What's that all about?
That was basically a video made by our sponsor at the time, Pal Peralta, with a pretty legendary cast of skaters, their team, which was Mike McGill, Steve Caballero, Lance Mountain, Rodney Mullen, and Tommy Guerrero. And it was a video that we made that was mostly skating, but there was a thread to it, a storyline that we were going to find this legendary skater that disappeared. And there's some pretty cheesy stuff in it, but a lot of people credit that for opening the
doors to skating to America's eyes to see that it was deep. That it wasn't just something that people was doing to be doing, but it was like a real cult following.
Yeah, and a lifestyle, just like you said. Yeah,
it's everyday lifestyle. It's everywhere now. It's even overseas. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's up with the Ride channel?
Ride channel is our YouTube channel that's all skate-centric. It's basically, we were funded by Google originally, and we tried to make sort of the hub for skating on YouTube, and we've done it so far, and now we're partnering up with Complex.
Oh, that's big. So the people who love the skating world tune into the Ride channel, so that way they can find out all the information, the hip, and where to be at, and who does it the best. Wow, that's big. And what about the Tony Hawk Foundation?
That's my charity, and I support public skate parks in low-income areas. We've helped to fund a skate park in Compton. We've helped to fund one in Long Beach, but we're on all 50 states.
You know where that's from, Long Beach. East Side, good looking way to take care of the homies, because now we got professional skaters that have come out of Long Beach.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been so many great athletes to come out of that area. Now skating is another way out. And it's fun, and it's cool, and it's diverse, and it brings different realms of people together, because it's not a one culture thing, it's an everybody thing. We inside the Smoker Studio with my special guest, Tony Hawk. I'm gonna ask you some everyday people questions. Meg Ryan or Megan Fox?
Oh, wow. Well, I guess Meg Ryan's more my age.
What's the first thing you do or think of when you wake up?
Do I have to make kids lunches?
In-N-Out or Fat Burger?
In-N-Out, because there's one close to my house.
Favorite pair of skate shoes of all time?
Oh, that's right. It would have to be Chuck Taylor's.
Favorite drink?
Green iced tea, green tea.
Favorite sports team?
Favorite sports team? I grew up playing baseball in San Diego, so the Padres.
SD. This is the part of the show, Tone, what we call finish the sentence. I'm gonna start it, you finish it.
Okay.
If I could skate with anybody, I would want to skate with.
Wow. My dad now, because he passed away in '95.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He never got to see how crazy it got.
Oh, he watching. Trust me, he got a bird's
But
I'd
like to skate with him, you know what I mean? And just show him the skate parks.
That's dope. All the things that you've accomplished in the spirit of.
Yeah.
If I could see anybody perform dead or alive, I'd want to see.
Clash. I never got to see him perform.
If I wasn't a skater, I'd be a
computer programmer or video editor.
My favorite trick is
540.
My name is Tony Hawk, and I'm a
Professional skateboarder and dad.
in a real way. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, you have just been entertained by the one and only, the greatest skater of all time in my eyes. Yeah, the GOAT, Tony Boney Stoney Hawk. You dig? Church, preach, tabernacle.